Now, I don't know about you, but I like to carry one power bank that'll charge up all my devices on the go. You put this one power bank in your book bag, you can charge 3 devices all at the same time, and because it has a very large capacity battery, you don't have to worry about running out of power. And today we're going to be testing out the HOPETREK ESB140. It's a 27,600 milliamp hour power bank that uses dual 140 watt USB Type-C ports that can do input and output for bidirectional charging. It's also air travel approved as it's under 100 watt hours. It's got a multicolor TFT display and uses power delivery 3.1, and you can charge 3 devices all at the same time. And using a 140 watt wall adapter very quickly charges up the power bank from 0 to 100% in about an hour and a half. Now you're definitely going to want to stick around till the end of the video because we'll be going over all the features of the power bank. I'm going to show you how it works, and we're going to see how fast it can charge up my MacBook Pro 16-inch. And by the end of this video, you'll know whether or not this power bank is right for you. And if you guys want to pick it up yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. So the power bank comes in this really nice box that is well packaged. We have the power bank picture on the front, and we have some specifications of the power bank on the back, which we will be going over in just a minute. And here is our power bank wrapped up very nicely. And there is the power bank itself. It is made of metal and plastic, feels very solid and substantial, and it weighs about 1.42 pounds. We'll put that off to the side for just a minute. See what else we get inside the box. So we do get a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, and the cable is nice and thick as well. We also get this velvet bag that you can put the power bank in to keep it from getting all scratched up during your travels. And then we also get our user guide. Now if we take a look at the front of the power bank, you can see the HOPETREK logo. We have our power button here that if you press it, it turns on the power bank and the display. Now, like I mentioned before, this power bank is shrouded in an aluminum case. Feels very solid, feels good in the hand. On the top, it does have a plastic cap with our USB ports. On the bottom, it's got a rubber type grip, so when you put your power bank standing up, you don't have to worry about sliding all over the place. And also on the back bottom of the power bank, we also have some rubber pieces as well. So if you lay it down just like this, you also don't have to worry about it sliding all over the place. You can also see the same information that was on the back of the box on the bottom back portion of the power bank as well. Now, like I mentioned before, this is a 27,600 milliamp hour power bank that's going to give you plenty of power to charge up pretty much all your devices, and it uses 6 4600 milliamp hour cell Li-ion batteries. Then if we take a look at the top of the power bank, you can see those 2 140 watt USB Type-C ports that you can use for input and output, and then we have the USB Type-A port. Now, if we take a closer look at the display here, it shows 3 different slots for each one of the USB Type-C ports. It'll display the output wattage and the input wattage, as well as the power that you have left inside the power bank. It also shows 3 different colors. One, we have blue for charging, we have green for charging the power bank itself, and then grayed out options are in standby. Now if we press the power button one more time, it cycles through to the next page. Here we have the total runtime of our power bank. We have our max capacity, the temperature, last charge to, battery cycles, and the total output. Then if we press the power button one more time, you can see that you can change the screen display time from always to 30 seconds. And then one more press brings us right back to the main page. And if you don't have anything plugged in or you're not doing anything with the power bank, the screen will automatically shut off by itself, as well as the power bank will go to sleep. This power bank also has quite a few safety protocols, so you don't have to worry about any of your devices getting damaged or the power bank itself. It has overcharge protection, over discharge protection, short circuit protection, over current protection, over amperage protection, current leakage protection, and low and high temperature protection. Now this power bank can output a max of 162.5 watts. Like I mentioned before, each one of these USB Type-C ports can output 140 watts max, and the USB Type A port can output 22.5 watts max. So in a couple different scenarios, if you're using either one of the USB Type C's and the USB Type A port, you're going to be able to output a max of 162.5 watts. And if you're using all three ports at the same time, you're going to be able to output a max of 152.5 watts, 65 watts per USB Type C, and 22.5 watts from the USB Type A. So now let me show you what the display looks like when you're charging the device itself. So I've got this cable hooked up to a 140 watt charger. So I'll plug this into either one of the USB Type C ports. So as you can see, the screen did turn green to let you know that the power bank itself is actually charging. I'm using a 140 watt power adapter, and as you can see, we're getting 137 watts, which is pretty much the 140 that it's stating you can get for the input. Here you can see how fast the power bank is charging, and it also gives you a time to let you know how much time you have left until the power bank is totally done charging at this particular wattage. And in case you're wondering, you can also charge the power bank itself while you're using the power bank to charge another device. So I'm going to plug in the USB Type-C cable that came with the device into my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So we can see that it is charging, and we're pulling about, let's see, it's fluctuating. We'll say about 8.5 watts because it is fluctuating. And it is blue to let you know that the power bank is charging another device. Now I'm going to plug in the power adapter I was using before into the power bank to charge the power bank itself while we're actually charging the iPhone. As you can see, the first C1 port, which is the USB Type-C port, is charging the power bank while we're charging our device, and it's still maintaining that 140 watts. And if we take a look at the top, you can see that the blue is the output and the green is the input. Then I'll plug in my USB Type-A cable into the USB Type-A port, and we'll plug in my iPhone 14 Pro Max. And as you can see, that's charging as well. So now we're getting the 138 watts to charge the power bank itself. We're getting about the 8.5 watts to charge my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and now it's charging the iPhone 14 Pro Max as well. So it seems to be doing a pretty good job keeping up with charging the power bank as well as two devices. Now let's plug in a third device that's going to be a little more power hungry. Alright, so I've charged my power bank up to 100%. Now we're going to charge up three devices all at the same time, but there are going to be some bigger devices in here as well, such as my MacBook Pro and my iPad Air. We're also going to be using the iPhone 14 Pro Max to charge from the USB Type-A, and we'll see what kind of wattage we can get from that. Now, both my iPad and my MacBook Pro are pretty much dead. They should be around either dead or around maybe 2% battery. So not only are we going to see what their wattage is pulling from the power bank when we're charging all three devices, but I'm then going to disconnect two of the devices and only charge the MacBook Pro, and we'll see how fast it can charge. So here, as you can see, my iPad is dead. It's not even turning on. And then for my MacBook Pro, as you can see, that's dead as well. So I've got two dead devices. Now, if you want to charge your MacBook as fast as possible, you're going to need to use the USB Type-C to MagSafe cable that came with the MacBook Pro. Not just using the USB Type-C, because I believe the USB Type-C connection can only do about 100 watts on the MacBook. So we're going to connect up our MagSafe cable, plug that into one of the USB Type-C ports. Then we'll plug this in to our MacBook. So that's connected. Then we're gonna connect our iPad Air using the USB Type-C port. and our iPhone into the USB type A. So as you can see, everything is charging. As far as wattage goes, we're getting 93 watts for the MacBook. We're getting around 14 watts for the iPad and about 4 watts for the iPhone. So again, when you're using all three ports on the power bank, you're going to get 65 watts per USB Type-C and then about 22.5 watts for the USB Type-A. But again, the device has to be able to pull that amount of wattage. That's why you're only seeing 20 watts from the iPad Air, because it's not capable of outputting 65 watts for the charge. So if you want to charge your device as fast as possible, you're going to want to use only one of the USB Type-C ports. You can still use USB Type-A, but if you're using both USB Type-Cs at the same time, it's going to limit you to 65 watts. So I'll unplug the iPad Air and we'll keep in the iPhone and we'll see what kind of wattage we get then. So as you can see, now that we've removed one of the USB Type-C connections, we're now getting 135 watts from that one USB Type-C port and then 7.3 watts from the USB Type-A. So now I'm going to unhook the USB Type-A port. We're just going to let my MacBook Pro charge and we're going to see how long it takes to totally charge up. So right now it's 11:53 and we'll come back when it's totally charged. All right, so we totally depleted the battery to 0%. So let's see what the MacBook Pro ended up at. So as you can see, it is 12:32. So about 40 minutes. So the battery is sitting at 62% and it's 12:33. So about 40 minutes to totally deplete the battery to charge up the MacBook Pro. Now also keep in mind, this is an older M1 Max chip MacBook Pro. Some of the other M2 and M3 MacBooks might be more power efficient, but this MacBook Pro has a 100 watt-hour battery in it. And because of that, the battery in this MacBook Pro is bigger than the battery that's in the HOPETREK. And charging the battery after all that time, you can see that the battery cells are now at 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 59 degrees Celsius. So before you totally charge your power bank back up, you want to make sure that it's cooled first so you don't damage anything. And that's not just with this power bank, that's with pretty much any power bank that you're going to use, because heat is not the battery's friend. Okay, so we know that the HOPETREK power bank can handle larger devices, charging 3 devices all at the same time, but how well does it work with small devices such as AirPods? Even my DJI mic that I have here typically will only charge on low power mode devices. So let's see if it works with the HOPETREK. So here I have some Samsung Galaxy Buds. It uses USB Type-C, so we'll plug that in. As you can see, the little red LED turns on to let you know that it is charging, and as you can see on the power bank, it is using 1.2 watts. Now another really nice thing about this power bank is when you're charging and it's discharging the battery, it shows how much time is left until the power bank totally reaches 0%, so that's definitely a nice feature. So now let's plug in another USB Type-C and we'll try my DJI mic. And it also seems to charge that as well. So now we got 2 things charging from the power bank. One is using 1.2 watts and the other is using 0.2 watts. Now the reason why my DJI mic is using so little wattage is because it's already sitting at about 99% charge, but as you can see, it's still charging the device. And the HOPETREK also offers super fast charging speeds for phones that support it, such as the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Another really cool thing that this power bank can do is it can discharge and charge at a high wattage both at the same time. So it can charge up my MacBook Pro and charge itself at a high wattage. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to plug in my 140 watt power adapter to start charging the power bank. So there it is charging, and then I'm going to plug in my MacBook Pro to be charged. So as you can see, the power bank is charging itself up at 136 watts, and the MacBook is fluctuating around 80 watts to charge itself. So after doing all my testing for the HOPETREK 140 watt mini portable power, it's got an excellent build quality, it charges at the rate that HOPETREK states it does, and can charge up all three of your devices all at the same time without any issues. And as you saw, it didn't have any problems charging large and small devices as well. So I definitely think that this power bank is a really good value, especially what you're paying for it. And again, if you guys want to pick this up, I will be putting product links in the video description. It's got some really great features, and I love the fact that it offers super fast charging along with the high wattage. So if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.